I'm a whole different person than I was, 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I could, I'm not your typical street crack hoe, I could be your sister, I could be your child, I could be your parent, really, and it just like that. And you're taking it for a reason. You're taking it because the doctor gave it to you because you have a, broken leg or you had surgery on your knee or whatever. And just like that, you can't put it down. And you're taking, instead of taking 1, you're taking 4, or you're taking 20. And, I was really lucky because I should be dead. I graduated from Plano East and went on to college, got married, and just shortly into my marriage, I fell into the prescription drug trap. I went to therapy, and my therapist decided I had an anxiety disorder, and I probably did. But they put me on Xanax and all those kind of prescriptions, and I quickly became very fond of them because my marriage was a horror. My marriage was, my husband was very abusive and all. That Xanax, just, I would take it and I would feel so much better. I would feel so calm and I would feel sort of normal and not like I had to be so anxious and crazy and scared. I spent my whole, existence just kind of at this low level of being scared. And the Xanax helped. And so, and I have a hard time sleeping. I still do, just sort of chronic insomnia all the time. The Xanax would help me sleep. And so anything, it's like when you can't be with yourself, anything that makes you feel better, feel more normal and more like you fit in with everything is something I think you can get addicted to really quickly. So, and I did. And, I'm just one of those people, if 1 makes me feel better, well, God, 100 will make me feel great. And I have that whole addict brain that doesn't think about, the 100 killing me. It just thinks about how much better 100 can be than 1. And the prescription thing just kept growing and growing and growing. And, it's difficult to even look at that as an addiction sometimes because, the doctor's giving it to you and they say you need it. And it went on for a lot of years before it ever got so bad that people started to say, there's some kind of issue going on. And I was about 33 before anybody really started saying that. So it had been going on for about, a good 10 years. I just really changed. My whole personality changed. I guess it wasn't really until people started saying it that I started really living it as an addiction, that I started really, getting into that kind of lifestyle where all I was doing was staying in my house and using drugs. And pretty soon the doctor wouldn't give them to me anymore. And so I had to start getting them somehow, some other way, and I started forging prescriptions. And at some point in there, I got really sick. I had a tumor in my stomach and had to have it taken out. And so then they started giving me pain pills. So instead of the Xanax, I got the pain pills. And real quickly developed about a 100 pill a day habit with those. And obviously the doctor wasn't going to give me 100 pills a day. And so I was forging prescriptions daily, several times a day. I would go down to the drugstore. And, I never was on the street. I wasn't one of the people that end up on the street and all that, which in my mind made it a better thing, made it less horrible. I would just sit in my apartment all day long and just take pills. And I would take the pills and I would, do the whole nodding out thing. And just the minute my eyes opened again, I would just take more because I just couldn't stand it. It was like I couldn't stand for my eyes to open. And I lied to a lot of people. I stole from a lot of people. It was bad. And eventually I got caught and sent to prison for a year and a half. And, it's a big deal for a little rich Plano girl to go to prison. It was a scary thing. I went to what they call Safe P, which is it's a special prison unit that has rehab sort of built into it. When you're in jail and you ask anybody in jail with you, which would you go to safety? They say, oh no, I'll take the 10 years over the 2 years any day in regular prison as opposed to safety. But they didn't really give me a choice. They didn't ask me if I, would choose one way or the other. They just told me to go there, and I did, and it was really awful. But, like they said down there, you don't like it, don't come back, kind of thing. So, and I haven't. And I think I'm one of the few people that hasn't. So I know a lot of people that have gone back. I'm 40 years old. At that time, I went to jail when I was 35. And, you don't get younger. So, I don't want people to look at me and see somebody that was not present for life. There's this whole thing that kicks in at about 30, I think, that time just starts going by really fast. And it's noticeable, and I'm not crazy. I've asked other people about it, and they observe the same thing when they hit about 30. It's like, yesterday I turned 30, or, last 6 months ago I turned 30, and, how can I already be 39? God. So you start thinking about things like that, and I think that's been a big motivator for me. Just that I don't want to have been absent for my whole life. I want to live some, live a little. Mm-hmm. And staying out of jail is, like I say, it's a huge motivator. Staying out of jail, and also, the people that I hurt. Addiction's a really awful thing for the people that are not addicted, that are around you. I mean, you don't really feel it too much because you're high all the time. But the people that are around you that are watching you and there's nothing they can do and they're just watching you completely self-destruct. I have a better relationship now with my mother than I've ever had my whole life. My friends all have a great deal of respect for me, and it's taken a long time for me to earn that respect back. After I got clean, my mom actually, she just was crying one day, and she said, she said, it's like, you're back. You were gone, and now you're back. And so that hurt my family a lot. There are a lot of people who won't even speak to me still, and that's okay, because they'll find their peace with it eventually. And I have found my peace with it because I can't do anything about that, but I can do something about now and the future, and not going back to that place.